Welcome back, traders. Today, we're going to be looking at DXY, EURUSD, gold, and NAS100. We're going to be picking up from where we left off on the last video that I did, which was on Tuesday. Now, in that video, a number of opportunities presented itself quite early. Actually, we literally were prepared for some of the moves that took place this week from Sunday. From Sunday's video, we kind of had a rough idea what was going to happen, right? Tuesday helped with the analysis that I did. And today's video, we can kind of see that market is kind of balancing itself out, okay? So it may go in line with what we talked about in terms of more profit, or we could have some type of pullback depending on the direction of the market that we were facing. So for the most part, most of the moves that we talked about in the previous video, most of them were in line with a market sell-off where I think we had maybe one asset where it could have been, say, bullish, right? So EURUSD was bullish and gold was bullish as well, right? And I think NAS kind of talking about selling off on that, and the DXY, naturally, we can see it's more or less selling off with a slight pullback. So we're going to pick up from where we left off with those analysis in preparation for the beginning of the week, which will be the video that comes out on Sunday, right? So with that said, like, comment, subscribe if you find the content useful, and we're going to get straight into it. And I think this video is actually going to be quite quick, right? Because there's not really so much we can kind of cover, because most of that work was done in the previous days, but there is still opportunities that you could look out for, and once I spot them, naturally I'll be sharing them with you. So with that said, we're just going to get straight into it. So the first thing that we can see right now, especially in line with what is currently taking place, is we can see that we had this level over here taken out, right? So this level over here was taken out. Price moved down, okay, came into this zone that I mentioned because I was expecting a bounce from that level. Price has now moved up, okay. Due to what is currently taking place right now, the probability of where price is right now coming back down again is quite high. We do have some data coming out today. So we have the final GDP, and then we have core PCE price index, right? So we've got these two datas coming out today so the first is coming out at 1:30 and the second is coming out at 3 p.m. GMT, all right? So we don't know what kind of impact that's going to have in market behavior, but these are the things that we want to be mindful of. One of the key things that we also want to bear in mind in regards to what is currently going on with market right now, okay, is the fact that we have market in this structure right here, okay? This structure that we have market in, it is very, very, very important, not in the sense that we can try to anticipate what direction is going to blow off in, but it gives us a really good idea as to what side of the coin that we are on. So as we can see right now, as it stands, we are in the demand phase of the DXY. Okay, so this is where we are right now. We're not in the supply, we're in the demand phase of the DXY. So if price comes in here, blasts us off, this will now put us in the supply part of the market structure as a whole. So we've got to be mindful of that, okay? And as well as we've got to understand how this move translates into other assets we're looking at. So for example, the reason why I always start off with the DXY first is because it pretty much sets the tone for all the other assets that we are looking at, right? So in this move right now, we can see the dollar is beginning to gain a little bit of strength. It is a pullback, but it is what it is. The dollar is gaining a bit of strength, which means in corresponding assets like gold, EURUSD, we can expect some type of movement. So long as the DXY is going up, we're going to have gold coming down, and we're going to have the euro coming down as well. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into EURUSD to get a rough idea as to what is happening. Okay, so EURUSD right now is pushing up. The zone that I mentioned, so these zones that we have in this area right now are the same kind of zones that I've put in regards to the DXY, because once again, if you don't already know this, the DXY itself is an inversion of EURUSD. So in order to kind of navigate that, you just got to turn it upside down, and it's exactly the same thing that you're looking at, right? So these moves that we have here So if I go into EURUSD, because I think that's the main one we want to look at, is the possibility of price continuing to push up is quite high in EURUSD. So I'm actually expecting continuation price to go up, and this is the level that I'm thinking about to say, hey, if price knocks out this level right here, which effectively will be a break of structure, it is fair to assume that price plans on pushing up even further. So it will kind of look a little bit something like this, right? So it will go up, it will take this out, pull back, and then push back up again. That is just so long as it maintains the current trend that it's in, because like I said earlier, we do have some data coming out today, so that could change everything. I don't know what the data is going to be, and I don't try to anticipate what the data is going to be, but I can say this: depending on how strong it is, market can respond to that data and it could do something unexpected, or in all fairness, it could do something very expected, like something that market believes should take place. So as we move forward, these are the levels that I think we should definitely be thinking about in regards to EURUSD is doing and how it is basically doing it. So the first thing that I would want to be looking at right now is this level right here. Okay, I want to see this level taken out, right? I want to see this level taken out for everything to make sense. This level right here. Okay, so that's 1.176. If that level is taken out, then naturally I will expect continuation of market to push to the upside. And at this point, this is where we'll be looking for new opportunities to tap into the market. So another way of looking at this is if you missed this entire move to the upside, okay, and this was the move that I was basically talking about last week, early last week, in terms of positions that you could have taken in the market. So effectively, if you knew what to look for, you could have been waiting down here, okay, to make your move. As you can see, I have this level over here highlighted because that was the level that that was the level that identified itself after I made the first video in regards to potential opportunities. I spotted that, and naturally you ride it to the upside and you get paid. So as it stands now, being out of the market, I will assume you're currently waiting, you're sitting on your hands right now, waiting for a new opportunity to present itself. That'll be the smart play. But ultimately, if you want to get in, you're going to get in. Nobody can stop you, right? And so long as you have factored in key components in market in terms of market behavior and market movements, you should more or less be fine, especially if you're able to get this entire move over here on a lower time frame using break of structure and change of character. You should have been able to navigate that area with relative ease if you knew what to do and how to do it. So just to give you a rough idea, I'm just going to go into a lower time frame, and then we're going to see exactly what it is that we're looking for, right? And as it is, we can see it kind of just laid out here for us. We can kind of see it just laid out here for us. And the first move, some will disagree, some will agree. That will be your first signal right here. We'll say, okay, price wants to come down because we had the close below this level right here that I marked out with the fib, right? So obviously you have price shoot up, come back down again even lower, shoot up and come down even lower, with the anticipation that it's going to come into this zone right here. As we can see, we have an ascending channel. So if we have missed anything, all right, bearing in mind that we are on the 15-minute, what you would more or less be looking for, let me see if I can kind of see that move, is to see if you could get anything close below these levels right here. If we're able to do that, then naturally you could just lock in somewhere at this level, cover the high, ride price down. That's how I would do it, okay? I may be right, I could be wrong. Only time will tell, as you do, because I'm not on here masquerading myself as a financial advisor. I'm only sharing with you how I like to do my analysis in the market, and then naturally you run off in that to see if anything I'm saying makes sense or if it doesn't make sense, right? So as it stands, this is the move that, as we can see, what price is doing, right? The probability of price bouncing from this level to shoot up is actually quite high. I don't expect it to calm down, but at the same time, it could. And because it could, we have to be mindful about that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at we're going to look at gold. Okay. And as you can see, gold is still on its journey to the upside. It's doing fantastic things. It did a pullback. I had a position in gold and I was closed out yesterday, right? So this candle over here is the one that took me out, right? I am not in a position in gold right now, so I'm completely out of the market. And we're waiting to see what gold is going to do, if it's going to continue to push up. But however, if I was to change this around and just show you what it is that I'm looking at, you're going to see why you could want to jump back into market if you actually wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it. Reason why I wouldn't recommend jumping into the market now, especially if you caught the first wave to the upside, right? If you caught that, that's great. Unless I'm selling the market, I wouldn't actually want to jump in with buys right now. Reason being, this gap right here, I'm expecting market to fill it. So if market does not take out this level right here, I am not attempting to put in any buys, even though it's doing this right now. I need this level up here taken out. If it doesn't and it comes lower, I'm expecting price to come into this zone, this gap over here, which, do you know what? In all fairness, let me redo all this stuff again. Let me just redo this stuff, because as it stands, this makes no sense. But however, we can make it make sense. Okay, so we've got the first zone where prices bounce from, right? So my trailing stop took me out of a trade right here, which is fine. And then we have the second zone. Second zone, it is, where is that? That is, let me get rid of all of these for now, because I don't know what this will means. Okay, all right, so now we've got a second zone. Okay, as you can see right now, okay, the second zone that we have in this area, so this is the zone between the 61% level and the 78% level, is where we have the gap, right? So as it stands right now, even though price is doing what it's doing in this area right now, I am not tempted to go back into the market with longs, especially with the data that we got coming out today. I'm actually expecting market to come into this zone to fill this gap over here. I'm expecting that to happen. Okay, so as soon as we get that move, I will then know exactly what to do. And then what I would naturally will do is I'll probably hop back into the market again and ride price to the upside. But as it's doing all this, I've already had my field. I've been paid. I'm not going to jump back in on longs in this location right here. I'm not doing that. I'm going to wait to see if either we're going to get this level right here taken out, right? And if we do, then I can look to ride market up some more. But if we don't, and it comes especially under here, I'll be expecting price to come even lower, below the 50% level of the fib, maybe make its way down into this area, which will then fill the gap to my will then fill the gap in this area, right? And then possibly shoot off. So that's my plan for gold based on what I'm looking at and how I'm basically looking at it. That's what I would more or less want to do in the gold situation right now. The next asset that we're going to look at is going to be NAS100, right? And once again, NAS has come into the zone again, right? So it's come into the zone. Bear me a moment. Let me move this along. So NAS has come into the zone again, right? This is the zone that I highlighted in the last video that I did, right? So it's coming to the zone again. So now all you're basically waiting for, if you desperately want to get into NAS, right, is you're waiting for closes under this level right here, especially if you want to ride it to the downside. If you're looking for longs to the upside, you can take it above this zone over here. But me personally, with how NAS is behaving, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, because I've been saying this for a little while now. NAS is looking untradeable, right, based on the conditions that I'm after, right, from NAS, just because of how NAS moves, is if I don't have price close below this level right here, and I don't have price close above this level over here, I don't think it's necessary for me to try to even navigate this space over here. Okay, I don't think it's necessary. Reason being is this whole situation here is easy to trade, but at the same time, it's frustrating. Okay, because I'm like, look, I want these types of moves from NAS. I want this. I want this type of move from NAS. Right, that's the move that I want from it. I don't want these little scalps over here. That's just a waste of time. That is just a waste of time. I don't want these scalps, right? I want the big moves. And right now, so long as it's behaving in the way that it's behaving, personally to me, it's untradeable. But however, if you really want to get in, right, I've pointed out how it's looking and what to kind of expect. So for the most part, if you watch my previous videos, right, the idea has been this. We are shorting from this location down, right? And if you watched and you followed, you would have seen that, okay, yeah, you can kind of do that, right? You can kind of short it down. The only issue that we have in regards to these shorts is you don't know how low it's going to go. So the best practice is we're expecting it to come into between the 38% and the 23%. And so far, it's only done that once, right? For the most part, it's coming to the 50% level of the fib. That's all it's doing, is coming to the 50% level of the fib. So my whole vibe is this, right? This whole thing here is untradeable, even though we know what's going on with it, right? We know what's going on with it and it's untradeable. So until I get these conditions met, which is either you're closing below here, which tells me you're getting lower, which means all the decisions longs to the upside, I'm getting it at the best possible price imaginable, unless it goes even lower, right? Or we're locking in at premium, but at the same time, we're expecting it to fly off at the same time. So these are the two things that I'm thinking about in regards to how I plan on jumping in on NAS, if I was to jump in on NAS. But at the same time, if you want to get in, you can get in because it's there for you to get it if you want to, right? So with that said, once again, I am not trading NAS because NAS is not tradable right now. And that's just that. Now, as for the rest, the DXY I don't trade anyway. I use it as a guide. EURUSD is holding an opportunity, okay, that you could jump into. But if I don't get a better one between now and tomorrow, I'm going to leave that alone to next week to figure out if there's a new move in that for us. Same with gold. So if the opportunity presents itself tomorrow, I might as well just wait for market open on Sunday night, right? And then I jump in on there. And as for NAS, with how NAS is behaving, we're just going to leave NAS to do what it's doing. And then once it's clearly made a decision, only then will I consider jumping in. So as it stands, we're just going to move this over here. We're going to keep this the same. Or as a matter of fact, let's just get rid of this. And we're just going to just keep this as it is right now, like this. So we just have this trend line. You know what I mean? We just have this trend line, and the further it goes down there, it should help us make a decision as to what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So with all of that said and done, if you found the content useful, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.